Welcome to Stoic Desire, the place where we strip away the noise and get straight to the mindset, words, and behaviors that create deep, lasting connections with women. Because here's the brutal truth. Most men have no clue how powerful their words really are. They think attraction is all about looks, money, or status. They chase the next trend, the next self-help tip, the next flex for social media, hoping to impress her. But the truth is far more grounded and subtle. The way you make her feel, that's what really sets you apart. And here's where we start leveling up. One of the most underrated weapons a man has. A well-placed compliment. Let that sink in. Not a try-hard line. Not some pick-up artist nonsense. But a powerful, deeply calibrated compliment, spoken from a place of stillness, clarity, and masculine presence. Think about it. Have you ever seen a woman's entire energy shift just because of something a man said? One sentence, delivered the right way, can change the way she sees you forever. It's not about being clever. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real, grounded, and intentional. And today, we're breaking down 8 powerful compliments that go beyond surface-level flattery. These aren't weak lines that make you look desperate. These are deep psychological compliments that trigger something primal in her mind, compliments that make her feel truly seen, respected, and magnetically drawn to you. But here's the warning. If you're out here throwing weak, generic compliments, like, you look cute, or I like your dress, you're just another forgettable guy in her DMs. You're noise. But if you understand the Stoic approach to influence and attraction, if you know the power of self-control, of calculated words, and the way you carry yourself, then you'll realize something most men never grasp. True power lies in how you shape her perception of you. And that begins with what you say, and how you say it. So if you're ready to elevate your game, stand out from every other guy, and leave a lasting impression, keep watching. Before we dive in, subscribe to Stoic Desire, if you're ready to transform how you handle relationships using the power of stoicism and masculine presence. Every video here is a step toward mastering your mindset and building stronger, more meaningful connections. Let's begin. Compliment number 1. That fragrance you're wearing is addictive. It smells amazing. Alright, let's start with something powerful. Fragrance. Most guys completely overlook this. They're too distracted by looks or clothing to notice the subtle details. But if you understand the deeper psychology behind attraction, you'll realize one critical truth. A woman's sense of smell is one of the most powerful triggers for memory and desire. Let me give you a clear visual here. Have you ever caught a certain smell, maybe vanilla, cinnamon, or even the scent of fresh rain, and instantly been transported back to a specific moment, a person, or a memory? That's not a coincidence. It's science. Scent is directly connected to the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for emotions and memories. So when you notice and compliment a woman's fragrance, you're not just saying she smells good. You're telling her, your scent lingers in my mind even after you're gone. That's a poetic, primal message. And whether you say it with those exact words or not, that's what she feels. Now pause for a second and really think, how many guys do this? How many men slow down, get present, pay attention, and notice something as intimate as the energy of her scent? Almost none. Here's what most guys do. They throw out the usual lines like, you look nice. That's a pretty dress. You're beautiful. And while these may seem like compliments, they're actually forgettable. Generic. Surface level. But a man who notices how she smells, a man who feels her presence through her scent and expresses how it affects him, that's a man who stands out. Now this is where stoicism comes into play. A stoic man isn't impulsive. He doesn't speak to seek validation. He's not out here trying to impress. He speaks with intention. Every word he says is deliberate. Every compliment he gives has weight, because it's not about getting attention. It's about recognizing truth. So when you say something like, that fragrance you're wearing is addictive, You say it like a man who means it. A man who's not trying to win her over, but simply noticing something real. And here's a crucial point. Confidence is quiet. Desperation is loud. So don't overdo it. Don't lean in too much. Just look her in the eye, ground yourself, and speak the compliment like it's a natural observation, not a tactic. Do that, and you'll see something remarkable. Watch how her body language shifts. Watch how her expression softens. Because now, every time she wears that fragrance again, she'll remember what you said. She'll remember how you noticed her. She'll remember how you made her feel. And that's the power of psychological attraction. Let's break this one down, because it's more powerful than most guys realize, and yet, most men completely miss it. A smile isn't just a facial expression. It's a vibe. It's an energy, a frequency, a silent message that can shift the entire atmosphere of a room. When you tell a woman, your smile could brighten up an entire room, you're not just complimenting her appearance. You're doing something far deeper. You're acknowledging her energy, that subtle, almost magnetic aura she carries. The part of her that can change the environment just by walking into it. And here's what's wild. Most guys don't even realize what they're looking at. They see a pretty smile and stop there. They think it's about symmetry, or white teeth, or full lips. But a woman's smile, a real one, carries so much more. Think about it. You've been in rooms where someone's smile changes the whole vibe. Suddenly, things feel lighter, more relaxed. People laugh more. Tension fades. Everyone's a little more comfortable just because of one person's energy. That's power. And when you tell a woman that her smile lights up the room, you're telling her, I don't just see your face. I feel your presence. That kind of recognition cuts deep. Especially in a world where most people only comment on appearances. Where compliments are lazy and robotic. You're hot. You're cute. You've got a nice smile. But the stoic man? He doesn't speak for approval. He speaks from awareness. He notices what most miss. He appreciates the effect, not just the appearance. So when he says, your smile could brighten up an entire room, it's not a flirt, it's a statement. A reflection of something real. Now let's get brutally honest. Most guys are stuck on shallow mode. They'll say anything they think will make a girl like them. But they don't take the time to actually see her, to understand what her presence does, to recognize the impact she has on her environment. That's the difference between validation-seeking behavior and stoic influence. You're not giving her this compliment because you want something. You're giving it because you see something, and you have the presence and courage to say it. Here's what makes this compliment so powerful. A smile isn't just about emotion. It's a reflection of a woman's inner world. When you comment on it deeply, you're acknowledging her ability to transmit light into a world that often feels dark and cold. That's rare. And rare things always stand out. A woman who can make a room feel lighter with a simple curve of her lips? That's a woman with influence. And when you let her know you see that, without simping, without being over the top, without putting her on a pedestal, you're saying, I notice the way you change the space around you. That's not just flattering. That's disarming. And from a stoic perspective, it's truth. The stoic man is not emotionally numb. He is emotionally aware. He doesn't deny beauty. He recognizes its power, but he's not owned by it. So when he compliments a woman, he does so with calm confidence, not as a tool to gain favor, but as an observation of value. He sees how her smile shifts the environment, and he acknowledges it, clearly, calmly, directly. That's what makes this compliment stick. Because in a world where most men are stuck commenting on appearances, a man who sees her effect on others, now that's a man she won't forget. You're not telling her she's pretty. You're telling her she brings light. And light is rare. So say it with presence. Say it with poise. Say it like a man who isn't chasing her, but simply noticing the truth of who she is. That's the stoic desire way. That's what makes you unforgettable. I love how real you are. You don't try to fit in. You're just you. Let's be brutally honest for a second. We live in a world of filters, both literal and metaphorical. A world where everyone's chasing likes, curating their image, and hiding behind masks. Social media encourages conformity. Society rewards people for blending in, not standing out. Being fake is easy. Being real, that's rare. And in a culture obsessed with appearances, one trait has become more magnetic than ever. Authenticity. Being real, unfiltered, raw, unapologetically yourself, isn't just attractive. It's a power move. When you tell a woman, I love how real you are, you don't try to fit in. You're just you. You're not giving a random compliment. You're acknowledging her courage. Because that's what it takes to show up in today's world without pretending. And let's get this straight. Women hear compliments about their looks all the time. You're beautiful. You're stunning. You're so hot. It's background noise. But how often does someone see her for who she is beneath the surface? How often does a man actually notice that she isn't performing, isn't chasing approval, isn't wearing a mask? Almost never. Which is exactly why this compliment hits different. Because when you say it, you're speaking to her core. You're telling her, I don't just like the image you present to the world. I respect the woman you are when no one's watching. Now let's talk psychology for a moment. Every human being craves authentic connection, but very few people know how to create it. Most relationships are based on personas, not reality. But when a woman encounters a man who's not afraid to get real, and who appreciates when she does the same, she feels something she doesn't feel with the others. Safety, respect, alignment. And let's take it one level deeper. Realness is intimidating. It requires vulnerability. It means rejecting the approval of the masses to live life on your own terms. So when you tell her that you admire her authenticity, you're not just complimenting her, you're honoring her strength. Because let's be real. It's easy to follow trends. Easy to be what the world wants you to be. Easy to play along and never rock the boat. But the moment someone dares to say, this is who I am, take it or leave it, that's the moment they become powerful. That's what you're recognizing. And this is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoic philosophy is rooted in living in alignment with your true nature. A Stoic man doesn't bend or break to fit into society's mold. He doesn't play roles. He doesn't chase trends. He is who he is, calm, deliberate, and grounded in his values. And when he sees that same trait in a woman, he doesn't overlook it. He honors it. Because authenticity, like any form of virtue, is rare. So when you say, I love how real you are, you're not throwing praise at her personality. You're speaking to something deeper, her willingness to be genuine in a world addicted to fakeness. You're saying, I see the courage it takes to be you. And I admire it. That's a compliment that doesn't just touch her heart, it imprints on her soul. And the truth? Most people will never be that real. That's why this compliment lingers. It hits something deep inside her. It's not about looks. It's not about charm. It's about respecting who she is when no one else is looking. In a world of posers, she's real. And that's why she stands out. Just like you will, if you learn to speak with clarity, intention, and presence. That's the power of the Stoic desire mindset. So let's take a moment to pull back and really reflect on everything we just went through. You've now heard 8 powerful compliments, each one carefully chosen, not for flash, not for approval, but for depth. Because here's the truth. In a world where most men throw out words like confetti, chasing validation, trying to impress, hoping to get lucky, you're different. You're learning to speak from a place of stillness, a place of clarity, a place of masculine presence. These compliments, they're more than just lines. They're reflections of how a stoic man sees the world, with eyes that cut through the surface and speak directly to the soul. Because real attraction, the kind that lasts, that draws her in, that makes her think about you long after the conversation ends, that doesn't come from your wallet or your jawline. It comes from how you make her feel. And not in a needy, approval-seeking way, but in a way that says, I see you. I respect you. But I don't need anything from you. That's stoic desire. That's presence without pressure. Power without noise. And here's something most men will never understand. When a woman feels seen, not just looked at, but truly seen, you instantly rise above every other man in the room. You become unforgettable, not because of your charm, but because of your depth. So, if you're serious about becoming a man who speaks with precision, a man who can influence without manipulation, a man who understands that words are tools, not tricks, then keep walking this path. Keep building yourself. And speak only when your words are calculated, intentional, and anchored in truth. Speech balloon comment below. Real quick, I want to hear from you. Backhand index pointing right, which of these compliments hit hardest for you? Backhand index pointing right, which one do you think you'll actually use? Or better yet, type this in the comments. Words have power, and I know how to use them. Lock it in, make it real, and show me you're paying attention. Link next step. Master the first words of the day. If you found these compliments powerful, wait until you see the impact of saying the right thing first thing in the morning. Click on the video popping up on your screen. No woman can ignore these 7 good morning texts. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Because when you master your words, you don't just attract women. You shape your world. Bell subscribe to Stoic Desire. This is Stoic Desire, where masculine confidence meets stoic clarity. If you're ready to transform your mindset, your relationships, and the way you speak to the world, subscribe now. Every video is a step toward becoming the man she can't forget. And more importantly, the man you were born to be. Until next time, walk with presence, speak with intention, live with purpose.